What if I told you the reason your legs feel weak isn't because of aging, but because of what your body's missing? What if the real problem wasn't your willpower, but a silent deficiency quietly stealing your strength? And what if just 3 essential vitamins, taken at the right time, could change how you walk, move, and live? Let me tell you about George. At 68, he was the definition of active. Morning walks with his wife, weekend gardening, even ballroom dancing every Thursday night. But slowly, without warning, it all started to change. First came the stiffness, then the heaviness. Eventually, it was the stairs. He'd pause at the bottom, unsure his legs would catch him if he stumbled. The scariest part, he never knew why. His doctor said it was just getting older. But George knew it was something more. Millions of seniors like George experience this same quiet betrayal. They don't fall because they're clumsy. They don't stop walking because they're lazy. They slow down because their legs are running on empty at the cellular level. And what's draining them? Not time, not age, but missing nutrients. You see, after 60, our bodies absorb key vitamins differently, less efficiently, more unpredictably. Vital nutrients that once flowed freely now trickle in, leaving your muscles weaker, your nerves slower, your joints stiffer. But here's the hope. Science has revealed something powerful. 3 specific vitamins that support nerve communication, muscle contraction, joint flexibility, and even fall prevention. They don't just cover symptoms, they help restore the systems that power your legs from within. This isn't about magic pills, it's about biological truth and how certain vitamins act as the switches that turn your muscle and nerve machinery back on. In this video, we're going to break down the vitamin that improves neuromuscular signaling so your muscles respond faster and move stronger. The nutrient that protects the insulation around your nerves, restoring balance, coordination, and control. And the vitamin that tells calcium where to go, into your bones, not your joints or arteries, so you can walk with freedom, not stiffness. This is the science of movement restoration. This is how your legs can feel younger, even after 60. Because walking isn't just a physical act, it's independence. It's your ability to visit your grandkids, to walk your dog, to get out of bed without fear. And no, it's not too late to get it back. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll dive into each vitamin, show you the latest research, and give you a simple plan to take action. Today, you'll understand why they work, how they work, and what to do to see results in just a few weeks. So if you've been struggling with stiff legs, unsteady steps, or that dreaded feeling of slowing down, you're in the right place. Because the power to move better, maybe even feel 10 years younger, might be just one smart habit away. If you're ready to take back control of your strength, your balance, and your confidence, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Senior Health Source, and share it with someone you care about. Every week, we bring you science-backed strategies, powerful tips, and simple routines to help you thrive, not just survive, after 60. Don't let hidden deficiencies steal your freedom. Let's rebuild your body from the inside out, together. Let's start with the part no one really talks about: why your legs get weaker after 60. Most people assume it's just aging. It's normal, they're told. It happens to everyone. But that belief is not only incomplete, it's dangerous. Because if you think there's nothing you can do, you won't take action. Here's the truth: muscle loss after 60 isn't just about getting older. It's about what's happening inside your body, often invisibly. Your digestive system, for example, doesn't absorb nutrients the way it used to. Vitamins that once fed your muscles and nerves now pass through you, unused. Your mitochondria, the little engines in every muscle cell, start to slow down, producing less energy. And your nervous system, especially the protective insulation around nerves called myelin, begins to wear away, so signals from your brain to your legs become sluggish, delayed, or even misfired. That's why you might feel your steps getting slower, more uncertain. Why stairs suddenly seem steeper. Why your legs ache after just a short walk. Or worse, why you hesitate before getting up from a chair. And behind all of it, a subtle but chronic form of inflammation scientists call inflammaging. It stiffens your joints, weakens your recovery, and quietly chips away at your strength, until one day, you avoid walking altogether out of fear. But here's the encouraging part. These aren't irreversible changes. They're signals, your body's way of asking for help. And with the right support, you can absolutely fight back. So now that you know the real reasons leg strength fades after 60, let's dive into the first powerful vitamin that can help reverse the decline. Starting with the one that restores the connection between your muscles and your brain. Now that we understand why leg strength fades after 60, let's meet one of the biggest game changers, vitamin D3, the nutrient I like to call the muscle switch. Because that's exactly what it does. It flips the internal switch that tells your muscles it's time to move, time to fire, time to stabilize your body and keep you upright. Let me tell you about Linda. She's 72, active, still gardening, and even takes her grandkids to the park. But about a year ago, she started to notice something odd. Her reflexes were slower. Not just in the gym, but in everyday moments. Reaching to catch a falling glass, stepping off a curb. She didn't feel tired, but her legs didn't respond the way they used to. She described it as a lag, like her brain and her feet were out of sync. Her doctor ran blood work and discovered her vitamin D levels were shockingly low, even though she thought she was getting enough from occasional sun exposure. But here's what most people don't know. After 60, your skin becomes far less efficient at producing D3. And without D3, your neuromuscular system starts to go offline. Now here's the science. Your fast-twitch muscle fibers, the ones responsible for explosive strength, quick reactions, and preventing falls, have D3 receptors built right into them. When you get enough vitamin D3, it binds to those receptors and helps strengthen the actual fibers. That means better stability when standing, faster reflexes when tripping, and stronger contractions when lifting yourself up from a chair. But when you're deficient in D3, it's like those receptors stay in sleep mode. Your muscles don't respond quickly. Your reflexes dull. Your ability to balance on uneven ground, gone. In fact, a massive meta-analysis published in the British Medical Journal reviewed data from more than 30,000 seniors and found that vitamin D supplementation reduced the risk of falls significantly, not by affecting bones, but by improving muscle function. That's huge. And it's not just about the legs. Your brain and nerves also rely on D3 to help with signal transmission. Think of it like a conductor syncing the orchestra. Without it, signals get fuzzy, misfired, or slowed down entirely. So what's the protocol? Simple, but powerful. Aim for 2,000 to 4,000 IU of vitamin D3 daily, ideally taken in the morning. Why morning? Because D3 works with your natural circadian rhythm, and it mimics sunlight, so taking it early helps align with your body's natural repair and energy cycles. Always pair it with a fat like eggs, avocado, or a drizzle of olive oil, because vitamin D is fat-soluble, meaning it needs fat to absorb properly. And yes, get sunlight when possible. Just 15 to 20 minutes on your arms or legs can help. But again, over 60, sunlight alone often isn't enough. Supplementation becomes not just helpful, but essential. So what happened to Linda? After 6 weeks of consistent D3 supplementation, with breakfast alongside her eggs and avocado toast, she felt the difference. Her legs felt more alive, her reactions returned, even her mood lifted, thanks to D3's role in producing neurotransmitters like serotonin. And now, she's not just walking confidently, she's sprinting up the garden path with her grandkids again. That's the power of D3. It doesn't just help your muscles, it helps your whole neuromuscular system reawaken.
Now, if vitamin D3 is the switch that powers your muscles, then vitamin B12 is the guardian of the wires that carry the electricity. It's your nerve protector. And without it, your legs may still have strength, but they won't have control. Let me share a story that might sound familiar. Robert, a 70-year-old retired school principal, was always sharp and steady. Until one day, he noticed something strange. Not pain, but a weird numbness creeping into his feet. At first, he brushed it off. Then came the slight tingling, the occasional clumsiness going down the stairs. Eventually, he found himself hesitating before walking across uneven ground, feeling like his legs weren't quite listening to his brain. He thought it was just aging, but it wasn't. What was actually happening inside Robert's body was silent nerve damage, caused by low levels of vitamin B12. You see, as we age, our stomachs produce less hydrochloric acid, which is essential for absorbing B12 from food. That means even if you're eating meat, eggs, or dairy, you might not be absorbing the B12 your body desperately needs. And when your body runs low on B12, something dangerous begins. The protective coating around your nerves, called myelin, starts to degrade. Imagine electrical wires with frayed insulation. Signals slow down. They misfire. They become unreliable. In your body, that looks like loss of balance, numbness, tingling, leg heaviness, and even falls, sometimes before muscle weakness even shows up. A landmark 2004 study published in Neurology found that B12 deficiency directly impairs sensory nerve conduction, meaning your brain doesn't get accurate or timely information about where your feet are in space. You're literally flying blind. And here's the scary part. You can have dangerously low B12 levels with no obvious symptoms at first. That's why it's called the hidden deficiency. By the time you feel something, nerve damage has likely already begun. So what can you do? The protocol is simple but powerful. Take 500 to 1,000 micrograms of methylcobalamin, the most active form of B12, sublingually under the tongue every morning. Why under the tongue? Because it bypasses the gut, which often can't absorb enough on its own in people over 60. This delivery method ensures the vitamin goes directly into your bloodstream. Now, back to Robert. After testing confirmed low B12 levels, his doctor put him on a sublingual supplement. Within 8 weeks, he noticed a real difference. The tingling faded, his steps felt steadier. He stopped grabbing for the rail every time he walked down the stairs. His confidence came back because his nerves were firing properly again. And there's one more bonus. B12 doesn't just support your legs, it also plays a vital role in your brain. Low B12 has been linked to brain fog, low mood, and even memory issues. So by restoring your B12, you're not just protecting your balance, you're protecting your mind. Let's break this down into action steps. Take 500 to 1,000 milligrams of methylcobalamin B12 daily. Use a sublingual form, especially if you're over 60. Test your levels if you've had symptoms like numbness, balance issues, or mental fog. And if you're already taking it, stick with it. Nerve healing takes time, but the payoff is huge. Now, let's imagine your muscles are strong and your nerves are sharp, thanks to D3 and B12. But there's still something holding you back: stiffness, soreness, a tightness in your knees or hips that won't let you move freely. You stretch, maybe even exercise, but the tension just won't let go. Here's the surprising truth. It might not be your muscles at all. It might be calcium in the wrong places. Yes, calcium. While we've been told our entire lives to get more calcium for stronger bones, few people talk about what happens when calcium doesn't know where to go. Without the right guidance, calcium can start depositing into soft tissues, like your joints, tendons, or even your arteries, where it doesn't belong. That means less flexibility, more stiffness, and slower recovery. This is where vitamin K2 comes in. Think of K2 as a traffic cop for calcium. Its job? To direct calcium out of dangerous zones, like arteries and joints, and into your bones, where it belongs. Without enough K2, your body might absorb calcium just fine, especially if you're taking D3. But without direction, that calcium can build up in all the wrong places. Let me give you a real-world example. Eleanor, a 74-year-old former tennis coach, was doing all the right things. She was eating calcium-rich foods, taking vitamin D3, and even walking daily. But her knees were getting stiffer, not better. An ultrasound revealed minor calcification in her joint tissue. In short, her body was hoarding calcium in her knees instead of her bones. Her doctor suggested one simple addition: vitamin K2, specifically in the MK7 form. And that changed everything. Within a few weeks, Eleanor felt her knees moving more smoothly. Within 2 months, her stiffness dropped dramatically. Why? Because K2 activated 2 essential proteins, osteocalcin and matrix GLA protein, MGP, which told her body, hey, send that calcium to the bones, not the joints. The science backs this up. A 2013 study in Osteoporosis International found that K2 significantly improves bone density by directing calcium into skeletal tissue. Meanwhile, a 2015 study in thrombosis and hemostasis showed that K2 enhances arterial flexibility, meaning better blood flow and better delivery of oxygen and nutrients to your muscles. That matters more than you might think, because when your arteries stiffen, your muscles get less oxygen. And when your muscles are underoxygenated, they fatigue faster, recover slower, and stay sore longer. It's not just about strength, it's about flow. So, what's the protocol? Simple. Take 100 to 200 micrograms of vitamin K2 in the MK7 form once a day, preferably in the morning alongside your vitamin D3 and a fat containing meal. Olive oil, eggs, or avocado toast, anything with healthy fats helps K2 absorb and work better. Quick safety note: if you're on blood thinners like warfarin, talk to your doctor before adding K2, as it can interfere with certain medications. Let's review. K2 keeps your joints flexible, your arteries clear, and your calcium smart. It works synergistically with D3, forming a 1-2 punch that builds stronger bones and prevents stiffness. And it improves blood flow, helping your muscles heal, move, and perform better. So now we've got the full trio: vitamin D3 for muscle control, B12 for nerve strength, and K2 for flow and flexibility. But we're not done yet, because there's one more invisible force holding your legs back after 60, and that's inflammation. And the best part? These three vitamins aren't just working separately, they're fighting inflammation together. Let's dive into that next. By now, you've seen how powerful these three vitamins, D3, B12, and K2, can be. But here's where most people get it wrong: it's not just what you take, it's when and how you take them that makes the real difference. You see, your body runs on rhythms, circadian cycles, digestion cycles, and even vitamin absorption cycles. And when you work with those rhythms instead of against them, everything clicks faster. Let's take a look at how that plays out in a single day. Morning is your power window. That's when your body is primed for energy, movement, and sunlight. So this is when you want to take your vitamin D3 and K2 together with a healthy fat like avocado, nuts, or eggs. Why? Because D3 and K2 are fat soluble, meaning they need fat to absorb. And when taken early in the day, they support your muscle activation, blood flow, and calcium balance when you're up and moving. Then comes midday, your mental clarity window. This is when your nervous system needs support, especially as natural energy dips. That's the perfect time to take vitamin B12, ideally in methylcobalamin form, under the tongue. It sharpens your brain, strengthens nerve signals, and keeps your balance and coordination sharp. Now, fast forward to evening. No more pills. This is the time for movement, hydration, and anti-inflammatory foods like leafy greens, wild salmon, turmeric tea. This gentle wind down supports everything those vitamins did earlier. You're calming inflammation, flushing toxins, and allowing your body to repair overnight. Let me tell you about James, a 66-year-old former firefighter. For years, he struggled with leg stiffness, brain fog, and poor balance. After following this simple timing strategy, morning nutrients, midday nerve support, evening recovery, he was shocked. Within just 6 weeks, he said, "I didn't just walk better. I felt like myself again." That's the power of synergy. You're not just throwing vitamins into your system and hoping something sticks. You're creating a rhythm, a strategy that helps your body remember how to move again. And now, to wrap it all up, let's talk about what happens when you give this plan the consistency it deserves, and how your journey can inspire others. Let's close strong. So now you know, it's not just old age. It's not just gravity or bad luck. If your legs have been failing you, if every step feels harder than it used to, you're not broken. You may simply be missing what your body once made with ease and what it still wants to make if given the right support. Because here's the truth: you're not powerless. You're not just aging. You're adapting. And with the right nutrients at the right time, your body can rebuild what you thought was lost. Leg strength is life strength. It's your independence, your freedom, your confidence to walk across the room, climb stairs without fear, or take that morning stroll that fills your soul. And with D3, B12, and K2 on your side, strategically paired, consistently taken, you're not just supporting your legs, you're restoring your rhythm. So here's your next step. Like this video if it opened your eyes. Subscribe to Senior Health Source for weekly tools that help you live stronger after 60. Share this with someone you love, a spouse, a friend, a parent who needs this knowledge. And drop your story in the comments. Let us know how your journey is going. Because here, we're not just making content, we're building a community. One step at a time, one story at a time, one leg at a time. This is Senior Health Source, and we're just getting started.